Hello and welcome to the FEZ show. I'm your host, Jack Giordmaina, and we have a really special guest joining me today as Ma Qing Hua from the Neo 333 Formula E team is joining me today. Thank you so much for coming on and talking to me.
Yes, you're welcome. Hello, everybody.
Hello. So how have you been? First and foremost, how are you? Like, how's lockdown been? I know I think you're in China. So how's it been? How have you been keeping?
Yeah, everything's pretty fine, and just sit in my home with my cup of tea. Was a relaxed time. Yeah, it was okay.
Yeah, I've got my cup of tea right here, so we're all prepared. Um, so
Yeah.
first thing, how have you been
Yeah.
finding? Perfect. How how have you been finding these esport events lately? Because obviously you did really well in Hong Kong, the race that we had on Saturday. So you just missed out on points actually. So how have you been finding adapting to these new esport events?
Yeah, it's quite interesting. First race was a lot of things happen, and the track actually and the car drives quite a bit impressed of me because I thought it was like a game, but it was really close to the real circuit, and the car was quite good, I think. And the race had a lot of happen. It's a quite a big fun to play. In the beginning of the race, I was mastering some accident, but I found a chance to get through, and the finish with position 11 was quite good. Yeah, I'm quite happy with that.
Yeah. So have you been working with your engineers? Because I know, like, if you watch like IndyCar, for example, a lot of them are working with their engineers to sort of get a setup and get a feel of the game. Have you been working with your engineers at all?
Well, actually, I'm in China, and our team is based in UK. So yeah, because the connection and the time difference, and we cannot really work together with my race engineer. But anyway, we have the engineer from our 333 team. So it was work together with our on Chinese team. So it is a part of our Chinese side. So was okay, and I think this race was last week. It was like the first time we are working together as a race situation with our Chinese side stuff. So it was quite good, and I think it is a good practice for our teamwork, and I think we are getting better and better. Yeah.
Yeah. Is this something that you'd like to, when we go back to normal racing and when life returns to normality, would you like to see some sort of sim racing event sort of continue? Maybe not as obviously every week as we're doing it now, but maybe like once a month or once every 2 months?
Yeah, why not? Why not? I think uh, after the knockdown, I think it will be good. Also, maybe we can ask our, I don't know, engineers or mechanics to join the race together and to have a fun team race, or something like this, and not just for driver. And I think it will be cool to see everyone race against each other.
Yeah. So obviously, going back through the history slightly a little bit now. Obviously, back in 2012, you sort of made history. Obviously, being one of the first Chinese-born drivers to race in Formula One. Well, not race, but do the actual like practice sessions to drive a Formula One car in a Formula One event. What were you? How did that come about? Like, can you explain how the opportunities at HRT came about and Caterham and just what were your emotions? Can you just relive those emotions that you felt during that time?
Yeah, this is one of the, I think, most important stage in my career. Yeah, I think at that moment I was like a chance, but it's difficult to catch, as you know, in Formula One. There's a many competitors, and want to join with the team as a member. So yeah, I was being selected from the young driver testing program. I've been through several testing at HRT. GP2 had to do a lot of testing for several young drivers, and in the end, I kind of win this race, and but in testing actually. So the team is really happy with my job, and also they are happy with my performance. So that's why you saw I was driving in the young driver testing of the official Formula One testing in Silverstone. So I get my super license, and the team is happy with me. So we continued for the FP1 sessions in the real race weekend. But I think the most exciting moment, there's a two parts. The first part is when I jumping into the Formula One car in Silverstone. Yeah, from this moment I have to back to when I was a kid, when I race in my go-kart time. To sit in that Formula One cockpit, it is like a dream, a long way dream. Then in that day, when I sit into that Formula One cockpit, I was like, wow, you know, this is the real, this is the real, and this is the dream really becoming the truth. So I feel so good. And the first time when I flat out drive past the finish line in Silverstone circuit, uh, with that, that was with the V8 engine, 18,000 RPM. Yeah, the feeling is like a god. There's nothing to compare, nothing to say. It's just, I don't know. It's just so beautiful. There's nothing you can really describe it, and uh, it's a great moment, great moment. And yeah, then the part two is when I start my first FP1 in Monza. First of all, Monza is one of my favorite circuit, super high speed. And I remember I was drive out the pit lane with Michael Schumacher. And as you know, it's like the game now,
Yeah.
it's like the game, but it's real. It's real. It's not game. So that feeling is really special. You drive the Formula One against two, Michael Schumacher, Kimi Raikkonen, and those great drivers together on the same track and on the official day. So that's something different,
Yeah.
and that feels very special. Yeah.
Nah, it's amazing. It's an opportunity people like mere mortals like me can only dream of, even to experience what you've experienced, which is amazing. But then you switched obviously after you couldn't. I know it's very difficult to get a race seat in Formula One, but then you moved to World Touring Cars and you did really well there because you picked up 2 wins, 1 win in Slovakia. So tell me about your time at Citroen in the World Touring Car Championship.
I really enjoying that experience, and I really like to continue in the touring car career as well. Um, yeah, the first race with Citroen in 2014 in Moscow. I Yeah, many people and also the team, expect you have to take some time to adapting the cars and the track and everything. Yeah, then we did 2 days testing before that race, just to know the team, to know everything. Then I was, to be honest with you, I was quite confident because I liked the car. I was quite comfortable with my team, and they are great engineers and mechanics, and one of the top team in the world. And yeah, then we moving to the Moscow. I I was expect something, maybe on podium, or something I was want to achieve. But when the race starts, yeah, I found a good chance, and I performed myself well. So I won the first race in my first race weekend. So it was a great moment. And also, this is the first time I saw the the Chinese flag on the top of the podium in a FIA event, which is a great moment for me. And yeah, to be a teammate with those world champions is really, really great. And I learned a lot from them, and they're great guys, and we share the information to each other. I think that's a really important experience for me in my career. And then I continue in this area. And last year in WTCR, I won another race in the WTCR. So that was great, and I love to work with this championship, and I love this championship as well. Yeah.
Yeah. So then, obviously, you moved into sort of season 2. You had your opportunity at Paris in Formula E Team Aguri. Can you explain how that sort of came about? Because obviously, you came in, you did Paris, and then you sort of finished the season.
Yeah, that was another a special moment, because my manager called me to say, "Hey, do you want to try Formula E?" And I say, "Yeah, why not?" Then there's a maybe opportunity in the future, or you would like to continue your career. Maybe I would say, yeah, we can try, but can we have a testing or something? Just let me know the car first. But in the end, before that race week, which is the race day, actually, there's no weekend. There's just a race day. Before I drive onto Paris track, to be honest with you, I have zero mileage with a Formula E car. That FP1 is my first time drive the Formula E car on a street circuit, which is a quite difficult moment. But yeah, it was interesting. The Paris track is quite challenge, and I try to learn as quick as possible. But Formula E is not like the things you can jump in and to do well in the first time. So it take times. But I remember I was in the race. I was getting better with the pace, and at the beginning I was consuming too much energy and try to overtake the car. But afterwards I realized the energy management is super critical in this race. So yeah, that was my first contact with the Formula E.
How different was it to drive compared to everything else that you've ever driven before? Because obviously, getting in on a raised weekend and you've never experienced the car, and it's totally different to anything else you've probably ever driven. What was it like?
I would like to say Formula E is a different animal. It is a circuit racing, but it's not the traditional circuit racing. And from the driving style, you have to think in a different way. From the track side, from the car side, I think first of all, it is a street circuit. I mean, really street circuit. There's no runoff area, or there's no standard tarmac with the FIA standard. And also the car, which is heavy single seater with a street tires. It's not really a racing slick tires. So if you carry your traditional driving style, I think you just try to crash into the wall. But so you have to adapting yourself, change your driving style, learning a different way to approach to the race, because of the energy management, because of the temperature management, and also try to think to be fast.
Perfect. So obviously you did that race in Paris. Obviously, it didn't go the way you wanted to because you sort of crashed out. But the following 3 races you did really well, and in London you just missed out on the point. So were you satisfied with your start to your Formula E career?
Yeah, the first season. Actually, I did. I think the track was quite difficult, and I was trying to learning from my teammates. That was Antonio Felix da Costa, and he was a great driver, and he know Formula E very well. Yeah, the Paris is not a good place to start because of the track layout, and the condition was really difficult. And I remember in London, because was a double weekend, so I had a little time and mileage to get in learning the track and the car. So yeah, that was okay. Obviously, three race in one season is not really quite a mileage to learn. So I think in Formula E you have to be with a full season with a stable situation. Then you are able to improve your performance. Otherwise, it's really difficult. Yeah.
Yeah, and obviously then the team became Tech Cheetah as it is now. So and then you did the first three races. So obviously your teammate became Jean-Eric Verne. What was it like, obviously working with Mark Preston and Jean-Eric Verne and those three races that you did with Tech Cheetah?
Yeah, it's a new car, new season. Obviously, the car is much better than my first season. It was another different experience, Antonio, and I learned very different way from those two drivers, and I think they're driving the car very differently, and the whole team is got a different situation. So I was trying to adapting myself, and also at the same time, another opportunity was coming in touring car side, and also I did rally in the same year. So I was like a bit mixed with a bit different experience in that year, and also because the Formula E situation is also a bit different, and I was trying to racing in touring car and also in rally in the same year, because time is too tight. So in the end, I have tried to do what I have to do.
So obviously you're now with the Neo team. So obviously the team's obviously still got a little bit of catching up to do. So how impressed have you been with the team so far, trying to catch up and get back to competitive ways?
Yeah, that's a new start with the Gen 2 car for me in Neo. Yeah, as the team has been rebuilt from last season, we got a new powertrain, we got the new software, and a couple of new guys in the team, also me. So yeah, that's a new start, and we're trying to collecting all data and analyze them as hard as possible. Will take times. I'm quite happy with my engineers, and they are working and try to find out all the proper way teamwork. And of course, uh, we are just getting into this stage, but unfortunately, this situation didn't continue as the championship as moment have to be imposed for this situation. So I really want to continue our work from the first parts of the season, because we figure out a lot of basic problems, and there's a lot of things still need to carry on the software side and also on the car setup side. Also from my side, I need to learn a lot of things from these new cars. Or it takes times and the mileage to get adapting. Yeah, because as soon as the season starts, we really don't have the time to test. The only chance we can get is in the race week. So yeah, we need more mileage and time.
In terms of planning for next season, are Neo currently using the season 5 Dragon powertrain? Are the team thinking of maybe making their own powertrain for next season, or are you going to stick with the Dragon powertrain and the car that you have this season, learn from it, and then in season 8, when you get to build your own car again, make your own car?
Well, this I from my side, I really cannot decide, and I don't know exactly the situation. But yeah, for this season, we want to start this base with the equipment, but mainly we want to develop the software and try to improve it. That's the main target. Otherwise, I think it's better you can ask our team principal. I think he can give you a better answer for this.
Perfect. Obviously, you've had Oliver Turvey now as a teammate. You've had Antonio Felix Costa and Vern, as you said. What were their strengths, and what did you learn from them?
I think luckily I got this experience with those three drivers was really experienced in Formula E. So I think they, they they tell me a very different way about the car to drive, because this is not the Formula 3, not the Formula 1 or any other circuit cars. It is something you need to drive with very, how to say, it's a very weird situation. And sometimes you have to think this is really not a single seater car that you approach to drive. And personally, they are three very different guys, very different personality. And for example, my teammate now, Oliver Turvey, he is a very gentle guy, and I think he's very stable. His driving style is very stable. He didn't do any big mistake, or not try to achieve max performance, or try to you know achieve a big target, but he's tried to improve step by step, which is I think I pretty like it. And himself is a great driver, and he's fast. There's a lot of data I can collect to learn and to think in a very different way. And yeah, sometime in the race week we work together and try to drive a different way in the same corner, and to see which one is better, and with different setup. And I think it's a good example for me to compare and to learn, to improve the performance. But so I like to work with him.
Perfect. And then, what's been the most challenging part of getting used to the Formula E car? If there was one area that you'd have to pick that was really hard that you're still trying to get to grips with, what would that be?
I think is mainly from the circuit, because most of the circuit is new for me, which is like Oliver. He had several experience in the previous seasons. The problem is to learn a Formula E circuit in your real time, is you don't have a chance to do even a trying, not try to push to the maximum, because um, if you run off the racing line, I mean, you just missed about half meters, or even 20 centimeters. Uh, then afterwards, you get zero grip, then you crash into the wall. So it's like a train, you have to drive on that two lines with your both side of the tires. Otherwise, if you miss half inch, then there's no room of the runoff. So the difficulty is it's not like the open circuit. You can try every corner with I don't know, 2 kilometers or 1 kilometers faster entry to the corners, or you try to push a little bit more on the braking point and to see what happens. Then you building up your confidence and building up your speed step by step. But in Formula E, because of temperature, sometimes it is different in the brake and temperature different on the tires. Then even you move just a little bit, maybe it's moving too much. And then yeah, it's hard to get improved and try to understand that one corner or two corners where's the maximum you can go. And this is one of the parts I think is quite difficult in this championship. And we are testing in the different circuits. We're testing Valencia, we're testing another standard race circuit, and we cannot have a chance to test in Paris or in Rome or in London in the real track, in the real race. So for me, it's like every time I attend in the race week is a new track for me. So as in FP1, FP2 is not learning. It's not just learning for me. It's we have to set up the car. We have to collect the data and try to do the race sim. It's not easy to learn in this short time. Yeah.
Yeah, and then in terms of just to wrap up the interview, in terms of popularity of electric vehicles in China, have you seen some sort of like is electric vehicles gaining more traction? Are you seeing more people buying electric cars on the roads?
Yeah, definitely. Of course, there's number one market on the world of China for the electric cars, or we call it new energy cars. In the big cities in China now, it's all around the electric cars. Even myself, I was driving electric cars daily. It was easy and quite efficient. I have to think about to go to the petrol station or something, like tradition. And I think this market's growing bigger and bigger, and also the government support a lot for this industry and try to promote to the people in this way. So this is direction definitely to go, and it's already been a quite big quantity and quite a big market in China.
Yeah, and then finally, what's your plans for next season? Are you hoping to stay with the team with Neo for next season?
Well, I would love to, but at this moment, the situation of this coronavirus, and I hope it can end it fast, ended soon, and I hope everything is can just getting better. But well, in China is controlled quite well, and now the restaurant is open and a lot of facility is open, which is a good sign. And the people was quite following the rules, and I hope in the worldwide this situation can back to normal soon. So yeah, I would like to continue with my career and to see. Yeah, let's hope.
Fingers crossed. Ma, thank you so much for coming on today. I really appreciated your time today.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Hopefully we'll see you at a racetrack very soon.
Yeah, yeah,
Perfect.
definitely.
Perfect. Right. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Thanks. My
Right.
pleasure.
Bye.
Bye.
So there we go. Ma Qing Hua, absolutely amazing to talk to. I hope you really enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching the FEZ show, and we'll be back tomorrow. Goodbye.